The Unexpected Path to Power and Peace, a motivational self-help audiobook by Astrian. Most people believe that to get power, you must fight hard and never stop. They think peace is something you earn after years of struggle and pain. But this book will show you a shocking truth that changes everything. The real path to power and peace is not straight or loud. It is unexpected, quiet, and often looks like giving up. You will learn why the people who yell the loudest are often the weakest. And you will see how calm people secretly control every room they enter. This introduction is your first step away from the old lie and toward a new way. The stories and ideas ahead have been tested by ordinary people just like you. They were tired, broken, or lost, and they found something strange. They stopped pushing and started receiving more than they ever imagined. You do not need to be special, rich, or born strong to use this path. You only need to be curious and willing to try something different. Every chapter will give you a small, exciting shift that works today. By the end of this book, you will feel both calmer and more powerful. Let us begin the most unexpected journey of your life. Chapter 1. The Day You Stop Climbing the Wrong Mountain. You have been told since childhood that hard work always pays off in the end. But nobody told you that working hard on the wrong thing is a trap. Imagine climbing a huge mountain for 10 years, only to reach the top and feel empty. That empty feeling is your soul telling you that this mountain was never yours. Most people ignore that feeling and keep climbing because they are afraid to stop. They fear what others will say if they turn around and walk down. But the bravest people I know are the ones who stopped climbing the wrong mountain. They faced the shame, the questions, and the confusion, and they stepped off. When you stop climbing the wrong mountain, something magical happens in your chest. The pressure that felt like a heavy blanket slowly lifts away from your shoulders. You suddenly have energy for things you actually love, not things you should love. Your mind becomes clearer because you are no longer lying to yourself every day. This is not laziness or quitting, despite what fearful people might tell you. This is the highest form of courage because you are choosing truth over comfort. You are saying that your one precious life matters more than a fake trophy. And that decision alone gives you more power than any mountain ever could. The first sign that you are on the wrong mountain is constant tiredness that never goes away. You wake up exhausted even after a full night of sleep and rest. Another sign is that you feel jealous of people who do simple, joyful work. You secretly wish you could trade lives with the baker, the gardener, or the teacher. A third sign is that your successes feel empty, like eating food with no taste. You get the promotion, the money, or the award, but you feel nothing inside. If these signs sound familiar, please know that you are not broken or lazy. You are just climbing a mountain that was never meant for you. Here is an exciting truth that will set you free today. You are allowed to walk down the mountain right now, this very second. Nobody needs to give you permission, and there is no committee judging your choice. The only person keeping you on that mountain is you and your old stories. Those stories say things like, "But I already spent 5 years here," or "What will my parents think?" These stories are not facts, and they are not laws written in stone. They are just ghosts that lose all their power when you shine light on them. So shine the light today, and watch those ghosts disappear like morning fog. Imagine for a moment what your life could look like 6 months from now. You wake up without that heavy feeling in your stomach every morning. You do work that feels like play, and time flies by without you noticing. You have energy left over for friends, family, and hobbies you had forgotten about. People notice that you seem different, calmer, and somehow more confident than before. They ask you what changed, and you just smile because words cannot explain it. This is not a fantasy or a dream for lucky people only. This is the natural result of stepping off the wrong mountain and finding your real path. Your first small step today is simple but very powerful to try right now. Take out a piece of paper or open a blank note on your phone. Write down the top 3 things that drain your energy every single week. Next to each one, write whether you truly chose it or just fell into it. Then write one tiny action you can take this week to step away. The action does not have to be huge, like quitting your job or moving cities. It could be saying no to one meeting, skipping one family dinner, or waking up 30 minutes earlier. These tiny steps are like turning your body on the mountain and facing downward. And once you face down, the walk to freedom is faster than you ever dreamed. Chapter 2. The Quiet Superpower No One Talks About. There's a superpower hiding inside you right now, but nobody ever taught you to use it. This superpower does not require muscles, money, or years of training to master. It only requires that you do one thing that feels very strange at first. You must stop trying to prove that you are right all the time. The quiet superpower is the ability to listen without planning your next attack. It is the skill of staying calm when someone else is losing their mind completely. Most people think that talking more gives them power in any conversation. But the truth is exactly the opposite, and this chapter will prove it to you. Think back to the last argument you had with someone who made you angry. Did you feel powerful when you were shouting your reasons over and over again? Or did you feel tired, small, and frustrated that they would not agree with you? That tired feeling comes from wasting your energy on a fight that cannot be won. When you try to force someone to see your side, they only push back harder. Their brain shuts down like a door slamming closed in a storm. But when you stay quiet and let them finish every single word, something shifts entirely. Their anger runs out of fuel because there is no fire to fight against anymore. The most powerful people in history were not the loudest speakers or the best arguers. They were the ones who could sit in silence and let others reveal their own weaknesses. A quiet person in a room of loud people looks mysterious and confident to everyone watching. Other people start to wonder what you know that they do not know yet. They lean in closer when you finally speak because your words are rare and precious. This is why great leaders talk less than half as much as their followers expect them to. Every word you save adds weight to the words you choose to actually say out loud. And that weight is what real power feels like when you hold it in your hands. Here is a fun experiment to try at work or with your family this very week. For one full day, speak only half as many words as you normally speak. When someone disagrees with you, just nod and say, "That is interesting, tell me more." Do not defend, explain, or argue back, no matter how wrong they seem to be. Watch their face change as they realize you are not fighting them at all. Most people will start to soften because they expected a battle and found a garden instead. Some might even ask you why you are so calm, and that is your moment of quiet power. You can simply smile and say nothing, which drives curious people absolutely wild with interest. The quiet superpower also protects your peace from being stolen by angry strangers online. When you read a comment that makes your blood boil, you have a choice to make. You can type a furious response and feel terrible for the next 3 hours, or you can whisper the word interesting to yourself and close the app completely. Choosing not to respond is not weakness, it is the ultimate sign of self-respect. You are telling the universe that your peace is worth more than winning a pointless fight. The angry person will forget you in 5 minutes, but you will remember your calm for days. That is a trade that any wise person would make 100 times over. Start building this superpower today with one simple daily practice that takes 2 minutes. Every time you feel the urge to correct someone or prove them wrong, pause and take a slow breath. Count to 3 in your head before any words leave your mouth at all. Ask yourself whether being right is more important than keeping your peace in this moment. 9 times out of 10, the answer will be that your peace matters much more. Then choose to say nothing or to ask a question instead of giving an answer. Questions like, "What makes you see it that way?" open doors that arguments slam shut forever. This tiny habit will transform every relationship you have, starting right now. Chapter 3. Why losing small can win you everything. Most people believe that winning every small battle is the secret to success in life. They argue over the last piece of pizza, the closest parking spot, and who said what first. They keep score in their head like a referee who never takes a single day off. But here is the shocking truth that will set your mind completely free. Losing small battles on purpose is the secret move that winners use every single day. When you give up the tiny fights, you save your energy for the fights that actually matter. You also make other people feel generous, so they give you bigger wins later. This chapter will show you exactly how to lose small and win everything. Imagine you are driving and someone cuts you off in a very dangerous way. Your first feeling is anger and your hand wants to honk the horn loudly. The old you would chase them down and shout through the window with rage. But the new you takes a deep breath and says, "You can have that space. I hope you get there safely." In that moment, you lost a tiny battle for one car length on the road, but you won back 20 minutes of peace that would have been ruined by anger. You also avoided a possible crash or a fight that could ruin your whole week. That is not weakness. That is the smartest trade you will ever make in traffic. The same rule applies to arguments with your partner, your kids, or your coworkers every day. Your partner says you left the milk out, but you are sure you put it away carefully. Instead of fighting about the milk, just say, "You are right, I will be more careful next time." Even if you know deep down that you did not leave the milk out at all. What did you lose by saying those words? You lost absolutely nothing except a pointless argument. What did you gain? You gained a happy partner, a peaceful evening, and the secret respect of someone who noticed your maturity. That person will remember your kindness and return it when a big battle really matters. Here is a creative challenge that will change how you see every small conflict coming your way. For one full week, let the other person win every single tiny disagreement you face. Let them choose the restaurant, the movie, and which route to take on the drive home. Let them have the last word in every text argument and every small debate at work. Keep a small notebook where you write down each time you chose to lose on purpose. At the end of the week, look back and ask yourself what you actually lost in real terms. You will see that you lost nothing valuable, but you gained peace, time, and better relationships. This one-week experiment has changed more lives than any other exercise in this book. The reason losing small works so well is hidden deep in human nature itself. When you give someone a win, their brain releases a chemical that makes them like you more. They feel generous and safe, and their guard lowers down like a drawbridge falling. In that state, they are much more likely to give you something big when you ask for it later. This is not manipulation. It is simply understanding how all human hearts work the same way. Think of it as putting coins in a bank where the interest rate is incredibly high. A small coin of giving up a parking spot can yield a huge return of favor later. The smartest people in the world understand this math, and now you do too. Start practicing today with the smallest possible battle you can find to give away. Maybe your coworker wants credit for an idea that you both worked on together. Let them take the full credit and say nothing about your own role in creating it. Maybe your friend wants to win a board game even though they played unfairly this time. Smile and congratulate them while knowing that you won something much bigger than a game. Your reputation as a kind, confident person who does not need cheap victories will grow daily. And when a truly important battle arrives, everyone will want to fight on your side. That is the ultimate power, and it comes only from losing small on purpose every single day. Chapter 4: The 5-Minute Secret to Calm Power. You have probably heard that meditation requires 20 minutes of sitting still with an empty mind. That idea scares most people away before they even try to start the practice at all. But what if you could get most of the benefits in only 5 minutes every morning? What if those 5 minutes were fun, easy, and something you actually looked forward to doing? This chapter will give you a secret routine that takes less time than brushing your teeth. Thousands of people have used this method to go from stress to calm in under a week. The best part is that you do not need any special pillows, apps, or training to begin. You just need 5 minutes and the willingness to try something new and strange. The first minute of your secret routine is called the heavy body drop. Stand up straight and then let your whole body go limp like a wet towel. Let your head fall forward, your arms hang down, and your knees bend just a little bit. Feel the weight of your body pulling down toward the floor like a heavy anchor. Take one deep breath in and then let it out with a loud sigh from your mouth. Notice how your shoulders drop lower than they were a few seconds ago. Most people carry stress in their shoulders without even realizing it throughout the day. This 1 minute alone will release more tension than an hour of worrying ever could. The second minute is the 3-breath reset that works like magic for your busy mind. Breathe in slowly for 4 counts while imagining golden light entering your chest area. Hold that breath for 4 counts while the light spreads to your arms and legs. Breathe out for 6 counts while imagining gray smoke leaving your mouth and disappearing forever. Repeat this cycle 3 times, and do not rush through any of the 4 counts. By the 3rd breath, your heartbeat will slow down noticeably from its normal pace. Your thoughts will stop racing because your body has sent a safety signal to your brain. This is biology, not belief, and it works for every human being on planet Earth. The 3rd minute is the gratitude scan that shifts your brain from fear to calm instantly. Close your eyes and think of 3 small things that went right yesterday or today. They do not have to be big things like getting a promotion or winning money. They can be as small as a warm cup of coffee or a text from a friend who cares. Your brain cannot feel fear and gratitude at the same time, which is a scientific fact. When you force yourself to find small joys, your fear center literally shuts down for a while. This is like flipping a switch from red alert to green calm in under 60 seconds. Practice this every day, and your brain will start finding joy automatically without any effort. The 4th minute is the future me visualization that builds quiet confidence for the day ahead. Imagine yourself moving through your day as a calm, powerful person who cannot be shaken easily. See yourself handling a difficult meeting with grace and a peaceful smile on your face. Watch yourself saying no to a request without guilt or explaining yourself too much. Notice how other people respond to this new you with respect and a little bit of curiosity. This visualization trains your brain to act exactly this way when the real moment arrives. Athletes have used this trick for decades to win championships under massive pressure. Now you will use it to win the championship of your own daily peace. The 5th and final minute is the power word choice that seals your calm state for hours. Choose one simple word that represents how you want to feel today, like calm or steady or light. Say that word out loud 5 times with a small smile on your face while standing tall. Then whisper it one more time and carry it with you like a secret weapon in your pocket. Whenever you feel stress rising during the day, say your power word silently inside your head. The word will trigger the memory of your 5 minutes of peace from this morning. Your body will relax again because it remembers the safe feeling you created earlier. This 5-minute secret has changed lives, and now it is yours to use starting tomorrow morning. Chapter 5: How to Say No Without Feeling Guilty. Saying no is the hardest word for most people to speak without their voice shaking with fear. You worry that the other person will be angry, sad, or will stop liking you forever. You say yes to dinner invitations, extra work and favors that drain your energy completely. Then you lie in bed at night feeling resentful at the person who asked you for help. But here is the secret that guilty people never learn on their own. The person you are really angry at is yourself for not saying no in the first place. This chapter will give you simple scripts and tricks to say no kindly and firmly. You will learn to protect your peace without losing any friendships or respect from others. The first trick is to stop saying "I am sorry" before every no that comes out of your mouth. When you say sorry, you are telling the other person that you did something wrong. But saying no to something you do not want is not wrong at all. It is actually very right. Instead of sorry, try saying "thank you for asking, but that will not work for me." This small change removes the guilt and keeps your power completely intact. You are thanking them for thinking of you, which is a kind and generous thing to do. Then you are stating a fact about your schedule without any apology attached to it. This simple shift will change how you feel about saying no starting today. The second trick is to offer a no sandwich that makes your refusal much easier to accept. Start with a warm, positive statement like, "I love that you thought of me for this project." Then put your no in the middle, clearly and without any extra words added. End with another positive statement like, "I hope it goes really well, and I would love to hear about the results." The person hears kindness first, then the no, then more kindness at the very end. Their brain focuses on the kindness and barely notices the no in the middle of it all. You get to keep your time and energy while they walk away feeling fine about the interaction. This is not manipulation. It is simply good communication that respects both people in the conversation. The third trick is to remember the powerful phrase, "No" is a complete sentence when you need it most. Many people feel they must explain their no with long reasons and detailed excuses. But every reason you give becomes something for the other person to argue against directly. If you say, "I cannot come because I am tired," they will say, "Just have some coffee and come anyway." If you say, "I do not have money," they will say, "This event is free, so money does not matter at all." Your reasons give them weapons to use against you in the conversation ahead. A simple "no, that does not work for me," with no explanation is much harder to fight against. Practice saying this in the mirror until it feels natural and comfortable for you to use. Here are 3 scripts you can memorize and use in real life starting this very afternoon. Script 1 for work. I appreciate you asking, but I cannot take on anything else right now. Script 2 for friends. I love you, but I need to rest tonight, so I will catch you next time. Script 3 for family. That is not going to work for me, but thank you for including me in the plan. Notice that none of these scripts include the words sorry or long excuses for your choice. Each script is short, kind, and impossible to argue against because it states a simple fact. Keep these scripts on your phone or written on a small card in your wallet. When the moment comes, just read the script and watch how easily the other person accepts your no. The final secret is to realize that people who get angry at your no were using you all along. A true friend will say, "No problem, I understand, maybe next time," without any drama or guilt. A good coworker will respect your boundaries because they have their own boundaries to protect as well. The people who get angry, guilt you, or try to change your mind are showing you their true colors. They are telling you that your needs do not matter as much as their wants in the relationship. Those are exactly the people you should practice saying no to the most in your life. Every no you speak is actually a yes to yourself, your peace, and your power. And that is a trade that any wise person would make without a single drop of guilt. Chapter 6. The Strangest Path to Respect, Doing Less. Our world tells you every single day that more is always better in every situation. More work, more friends, more activities, more goals, and more stuff to fill your house. But look at the people you truly respect, and you will notice something very strange about them. They do not rush around like chickens with their heads cut off all day long. They move slowly, speak rarely, and seem to have plenty of empty space in their calendars. They say no to most things so they can say a powerful yes to a few things. This chapter will show you why doing less is the strangest path to more respect and power. You will learn to stop confusing busyness with importance starting today. Imagine 2 people who work in the same office doing similar types of work every week. Person A answers every email within 2 minutes, even the ones that do not matter much. Person A says yes to every meeting, every request, and every small task that comes along. Person B takes 4 hours to answer emails and ignores the ones that are not important at all. Person B says no to most meetings and only shows up when their presence truly matters. Who do you think the boss respects more at the end of a full year of work? Person B, of course, because their time seems valuable and scarce to everyone watching. Person A seems desperate for approval, and desperate people rarely earn true respect from others. The same rule applies to your social life and your friendships outside of work completely. The person who is available for every party, every dinner, and every last-minute plan seems less valuable. Their time appears cheap because they give it away to anyone who asks at any moment. The person who is rarely available becomes mysterious and interesting to everyone in the group. When they finally do show up, people gather around them and ask where they have been hiding. This is not about being mean or playing games with the people who care about you. It is about valuing your own time so that other people will learn to value it too. And the strangest part is that doing less actually makes you more popular in the end. Here is a practical exercise that feels scary but will change your life very quickly. Take out your calendar for next week and cross off half of the things you plan to do. Yes, half of everything, including work tasks, social plans, and personal projects. Keep only the things that truly matter to your goals, your health, or your deepest happiness. Then sit in the empty space and do absolutely nothing for at least 1 hour each day. Watch what happens when you stop filling every second with noise and activity constantly. Your brain will start to have creative ideas that never appeared when you were so busy. Your body will feel lighter because you are not rushing from place to place anymore. This empty space is not wasted time. It is the soil where your best life will grow. The most respected people in history were masters of doing less than everyone else around them. The Buddha sat under a tree and did nothing while others ran around seeking enlightenment everywhere. Albert Einstein worked only 4 hours per day and spent the rest of his time walking and playing violin. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote that almost nothing we do is truly necessary in the big picture. These people understood that doing less allows you to focus your energy like a laser beam. A laser beam is weak when spread out but can cut through steel when focused on one tiny spot. Your energy works exactly the same way, so stop spreading it thin across 1,000 small things. Do less, focus more, and watch how the world starts to respect your calm power. Start today by identifying the 3 biggest time wasters in your average week right now. These could be social media scrolling, pointless meetings, or chores that do not truly need doing. Then make a bold rule that you will spend no more than 30 minutes total on these wasters. Use the time you save to sit quietly, take a walk, or work on one thing that matters deeply to you. Tell one friend about your experiment so they can hold you accountable to your new standard. Notice how uncomfortable you feel at first, and notice how that discomfort slowly turns into freedom. By the end of 1 month, you will never want to go back to your old busy life. Doing less will have given you more respect, more peace, and more power than you ever imagined possible. Chapter 7. When to walk away from a fight even if you're right. You have been taught that walking away from a fight means you are weak or afraid to stand up. Your parents told you to never back down from a bully or a person who disrespects you. But this old advice was written for a world that no longer exists in modern times. Sometimes the strongest, bravest, and smartest move is to turn around and walk away completely. Even when you are 100% right and the other person is clearly wrong, you can choose to leave. This chapter will teach you the 3 questions to ask before any conflict begins. These questions will save you hours of pain and years of regret in your relationships. You will learn that walking away is not losing, it is winning a much bigger game. The first question to ask yourself is, does this fight actually need to happen at all? Many fights start because of habit, pride, or a simple misunderstanding between 2 tired people. Your partner forgot to take out the trash, but does that really need a 20-minute argument tonight? A stranger said something rude online, but does that really need a response from you at all? If the fight will not matter in 1 week from today, it probably does not matter right now. If the fight is about being right instead of about solving a real problem, walk away immediately. Your time on this earth is too short to spend it fighting about trash or online comments. Save your energy for battles that truly affect your safety, your money, or your deepest values. The second question is, can I win anything valuable by staying in this fight? Most fights offer no prize at the end except the empty feeling of being right. You might prove that you were correct about who said what last Tuesday afternoon, but what did you actually gain from that victory in real terms for your life? You gain nothing except maybe a few seconds of satisfaction before the next fight begins. Meanwhile, you lost an hour of peace, some trust from the other person, and energy you will never get back. A fight that offers no valuable prize is a trap that smart people learn to recognize quickly. Walk away from traps, not because you are afraid, but because you are too wise to be caught. The third question is the most important one you will ever learn about conflict in your life. Ask yourself, What will I think about this fight when I am on my deathbed looking back? On your final day, will you wish you had argued more about whose turn it was to do the dishes? Will you be proud that you left angry comments on a stranger's social media post that one time? Or will you wish you had spent that time hugging your children or calling an old friend instead? This question instantly shrinks any fight down to its true, tiny size in the big picture. Almost every fight becomes laughably small when you hold it next to the reality of death. The people who learn to ask this question early live much happier lives than those who do not. Be one of the wise ones and ask this question before every single fight you face. Here is a practical tool called the 10-year rule that makes walking away much easier to do. Before you engage in any argument, ask yourself if this will matter 10 years from today. If the answer is no, then it does not deserve more than 10 seconds of your energy today. If the answer is maybe, then give it 10 minutes of calm discussion without any yelling at all. If the answer is yes, then prepare for battle, but only after trying peaceful solutions first. This simple rule has saved marriages, friendships, and jobs for thousands of people who learn to use it. The 10-year rule is like a flashlight in a dark room full of potential fights everywhere. Shine the light before you fight, and most of the monsters will disappear like shadows at noon. The most powerful walk away is the one you do without announcing it to the other person first. You do not need to say, "I am walking away now because I am better than you." Just smile, nod, and change the subject, or leave the room quietly without any drama. Your silence will confuse the other person more than any angry words you could ever shout. They will wonder why you are not fighting back, and that wonder is a form of power over them. Meanwhile, you will be outside taking a deep breath of fresh air and feeling proud of your choice. This is not running away from a problem. It is running toward your own peace and sanity. And that is a race that you win every single time you choose to walk away. Chapter 8. Turning your biggest failure into a trophy. Everyone has a failure that they hide in the darkest corner of their memory forever. You probably have one too, a moment you wish you could erase from your life completely. Maybe you lost a job, ended a relationship badly, or said something that still makes you cringe at night. You have been carrying this failure like a heavy stone in your pocket every single day since it happened. But what if that stone could turn into a trophy that you display with pride instead of shame? What if your biggest mistake was actually the key that unlocked your strongest self in the end? This chapter will show you how to transform failure from an enemy into your greatest teacher. You will learn to stop hiding and start celebrating the falls that taught you how to fly. The first step to turning failure into a trophy is to stop calling it a failure at all. Change the word in your mind to lesson or data or stepping stone instead of failure. Words have power over how you feel, and the word failure feels heavy and dark and permanent. But the word lesson feels light and useful and full of hope for a better future. You did not fail. You simply tried something that did not work out the way you hoped. Every scientist in history has failed thousands of times before finding one thing that actually worked. Thomas Edison called his failed light bulb experiments finding 10,000 ways that did not work. That is not failure. That is learning at the highest level possible for any human. The second step is to write down exactly what that old failure taught you about yourself and the world. Take out a piece of paper and write the story of what happened in simple, honest words. Do not add extra shame or blame, just the facts of what happened and how you felt at the time. Then write a list of at least 3 specific things you learned from that painful experience. Maybe you learned who your real friends were when times got hard and difficult. Maybe you learned that you are stronger than you ever knew before that moment arrived. Maybe you learned what you truly want in life by experiencing what you absolutely do not want. These lessons are the gold hidden inside the mud of your worst memory. The third step is to share your failure story with one person you trust completely in your life. Keeping the story hidden gives it power over you like a monster in a dark closet. But when you open the closet door and tell someone the whole truth, the monster shrinks dramatically. Your friend will likely respond by sharing their own failure that you never knew about before. Suddenly, you realize that everyone is carrying the same heavy stones in their pockets every day. You are not broken, you are not alone, and you are not the only one who messed up badly. This sharing turns shame into connection, and connection is the opposite of loneliness and fear. Your trophy begins to shine when you stop hiding it under a blanket of silence. Here is a creative exercise called the failure resume that successful people use to stay humble and strong. Make a resume that lists only your biggest failures, mistakes, and embarrassing moments from your life. Write down the failure, what you learned from it, and how it helped you grow as a person later. Include things like getting fired, being rejected, saying something stupid, or losing money on a bad bet. When you finish, read it out loud and notice how different you feel about those old stories now. They no longer feel like shameful secrets. They feel like proof that you tried hard things in life. The person who has never failed has also never truly lived or grown or become anything interesting. Your failure resume is actually a trophy case that shows how brave you have been all along. The final step is to find a way to help someone else who is going through the same failure today. Your painful lesson becomes pure gold when you can use it to lift another person up. You can write a post, make a video, or simply tell a friend who is struggling with the same problem. When you help someone avoid your mistake or heal from the same wound, your failure gains meaning. The pain was not pointless. It was training for you to become a healer for others. This is how the greatest teachers, coaches, and leaders in history were all created over time. They did not succeed their way to wisdom. They failed their way to it step by step. Your biggest failure is not your shame. It is your trophy, your lesson, and your gift to the world. Chapter 9. The No Enemy Challenge. Imagine going through an entire week without treating a single person as your enemy in any way. No anger at the driver who cut you off. No hate for the politician you disagree with strongly. No silent resentment toward the coworker who took credit for your idea last Tuesday afternoon. This is the No Enemy Challenge, and it will change your brain more than any other exercise. You are not asked to agree with everyone or to let people walk all over you at all. You are simply asked to stop feeding the enemy story that lives inside your own head. This chapter will guide you through 7 days of this challenge with daily tips and tricks. By day 7, you will feel lighter, freer, and more powerful than you have in years. Day 1 of the challenge is all about noticing how often you create enemies in your normal daily life. Pay attention to every time you use words like hate, can't stand, or always does that stupid thing. Notice when you feel your body tense up because a certain person walks into the room where you are sitting. Write down each enemy thought in a small notebook without judging yourself for having these thoughts. You are not bad for having enemies. You are simply human like every other person on earth. But you cannot change what you do not notice, so day 1 is about noticing and nothing else. By bedtime, you will be shocked at how many enemy stories run through your mind each day. That shock is the first step toward freedom from all of those heavy stories forever. Day 2 is about finding the human inside each person you currently call an enemy in your mind. That person who cut you off in traffic might be rushing to see a sick child in the hospital right now. The coworker who took your credit might be terrified of losing their job and feeding their family at home. The politician you hate might have lost a parent recently and is acting out of grief and fear. Every single person on earth is fighting a battle that you know absolutely nothing about today. When you see the human behind the enemy, your anger softens just a little bit each time. You do not have to like them, but you can stop carrying the heavy weight of hating them. That weight was hurting you much more than it was ever hurting them in reality. Day 3 is about removing the word enemy from your vocabulary for the rest of the entire week. Replace it with words like teacher, mystery, or different walker instead of the old enemy label. A different walker is just someone walking a different path than yours, not someone blocking your path. This small word chain rewires your brain to see conflict as diversity instead of as a battle. You will be surprised how much calmer you feel when you stop calling people your enemies out loud. The words you speak become the world you live in, So choose your words with great care today. Every time you almost say enemy, pause and choose a softer, lighter word instead. By day 4, this new habit will start to feel natural and even fun for you to practice. Day 4 through 6 involve taking small actions that prove you have no enemies in this world. Send a kind thought to someone who angered you yesterday, just in your own mind at first. Then send a short, neutral message to someone you have been avoiding for weeks or months now. Say something simple like, "Hope you are doing well," with no expectations of a reply at all. If you feel brave, thank someone who hurt you for the lesson they accidentally taught you in life. These actions will feel strange and uncomfortable because they are breaking very old patterns in your brain. Discomfort is a sign of growth, so lean into it and watch what happens to your heart. Most people find that their so-called enemies were just mirrors showing them their own fears all along. By day 7, you will notice changes in your body, your mind, and your relationships with others. Your shoulders will sit lower on your body because you are not carrying enemy weights anymore. You will sleep better because your brain is not running angry movies before bed each night. People will seem kinder to you, but the real change is that you are noticing kindness more often. The world did not change, but your eyes finally got cleaned from the dirt of enemy stories. This is the deepest peace that exists, a peace that does not depend on other people behaving perfectly. You have completed the no enemy challenge, and you are now ready to live without invisible wars. That is not weakness, that is the strongest, most peaceful power a human being can ever know. Chapter 10: Power Does Yell, It Listens. Watch any movie about a powerful boss, and you will see them yelling at people from a big desk. Real life does not work that way, and the loudest person in the room is almost never the leader. True power is quiet, still, and deeply curious about what other people have to say to you. The ability to listen is actually much harder than the ability to talk without stopping. Anyone can open their mouth and make noise, but very few people can close their mouth and truly hear. This chapter will teach you the lost art of listening for power and peace in your daily life. You will learn why great listeners secretly control every conversation without saying very much at all. And you will become one of those rare people that everyone wants to talk to for hours. The first secret of powerful listening is to stop planning your response while the other person is still speaking. Most people listen for 5 seconds and then spend the rest of the time preparing their comeback. But while you are planning your response, you have stopped hearing what the other person is actually saying. You might miss the most important sentence they say because your brain is busy rehearsing your own words. True listening requires you to empty your mind completely and just receive the other person's message. Imagine that you are a cup and their words are water being poured into your open container. Do not judge, do not plan, do not interrupt, just receive everything they are giving to you. This empty cup practice will transform you into a listener that people will cross rooms to find. The second secret is to use small sounds that prove you are still present and paying attention fully. Nod your head slightly and say, "Ma'am," or "I see," or "Tell me more" at the right moments. These tiny sounds are like breadcrumbs that lead the speaker deeper into their own thoughts and feelings. Without these sounds, the speaker feels like they are talking to a wall that does not care at all. With these sounds, they feel safe, heard, and encouraged to share more of their truth with you. This is how therapists get people to reveal their deepest secrets in just a few sessions together. You do not need a degree to use this tool, you just need to care enough to make small sounds. Try this tomorrow and watch how much more people share with you than ever before. The third secret is to ask open questions that begin with words like what or how instead of why. The word why often sounds like an attack, as if you are demanding a defense from the speaker. "Why did you do that?" makes people feel judged and they will close up like a scared turtle. But what made you choose that option is curious and open and invites more sharing without any fear. "How did that feel for you?" opens the door to emotions that the person might not have expressed yet. These open questions are like keys that unlock doors the speaker did not even know existed in their mind. Great listeners collect these keys, and use them generously throughout every conversation they have. You will be amazed at how much power flows to you when you stop interrogating and start exploring together. Here is a fun listening game to play with a friend, partner, or coworker this very week. Set a timer for 3 minutes where only the other person is allowed to speak out loud. You must stay completely silent, no matter how much you want to jump in and share your own thoughts. Your only job is to nod, make small sounds, and look genuinely interested in what they are saying. When the timer ends, you must summarize what they said back to them in your own simple words. Ask them to rate your summary from 1 to 10, with 10 being perfect and complete understanding. Most people score very low on this game the first time they try to play it honestly. But after practicing a few times, your score will rise, and your relationships will transform completely. This game is fun, free, and more valuable than any expensive communication class you could ever take. The final secret is to notice how listening makes other people feel powerful and important around you. When you truly listen, you give the speaker a gift that costs you nothing but means everything to them. They will remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you actually talked about. And because you made them feel important, they will want to help you, protect you, and support you later. This is not manipulation. It is simply the natural law of human relationships working as designed. The person who listens gains more loyalty than the person who talks and tries to impress everyone. So stop trying to be the smartest person in the room and start being the most curious one instead. That is where real power lives, not in yelling, but in the quiet magic of truly hearing another soul. Chapter 11: Why Your Phone is Stealing Your Peace and How to Take It Back. Look at the amount of time you spent on your phone yesterday, and be honest with yourself now. Most adults touch their phones over 2,000 times per day without even realizing they are doing it. Each little touch steals a tiny piece of your peace, your focus, and your precious time on earth. Your phone is not evil, and you do not need to throw it into a river to be free. But your phone was designed by very smart people to keep you hooked like a fish on a line. Those smart people make money when you cannot look away from the screen for very long. This chapter will show you how to use your phone as a tool, not a master. You will get your peace back without quitting technology or moving to a cabin in the woods. The first problem is the endless scroll, which is a feature built into every social media app you use. When you scroll, your brain gets tiny hits of a chemical called dopamine that feels good for a moment. But those hits are tiny and fake, like eating candy instead of a real meal for dinner. After a few minutes of scrolling, you feel worse than before you started the activity at all. You have wasted time, seen things that upset you, and forgotten what you were looking for originally. The endless scroll is a trap, and the only way to win is to not enter the trap at all. Delete the apps that use endless scroll from your phone and only use them on a computer instead. This one change alone will give you back hours of peace every single week of your life. The second problem is notifications, which are designed to pull your attention away from whatever you are doing. Every buzz, ding, or pop-up is a tiny thief that steals your focus and breaks your concentration. It takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus after a single notification interrupts your work. If you get 10 notifications per day, you have lost nearly 4 hours of deep focus to your phone. Turn off all notifications except for calls from real people who truly need to reach you immediately. Your phone should serve you, not summon you like a dog being called by a bell. This feels scary at first because you fear missing something important in your social world. But try it for 1 week, and you will see that almost nothing important was hidden behind those buzzing alerts. The third problem is the bedtime phone habit that ruins your sleep and your mood for the next day. The blue light from your screen tricks your brain into thinking the sun is still up outside. Your body stops making melatonin, which is the chemical that helps you fall asleep easily at night. Then you lie in bed with a racing mind, wondering why sleep will not come to visit you. You pick up your phone again to pass the time, and the cycle gets worse and worse each night. Break this cycle by leaving your phone in another room at least 1 hour before bedtime. Buy a real alarm clock that costs $10 and use that to wake up in the morning instead. Your sleep will improve within 3 days, and your peace will return like an old friend coming home. Here is a creative challenge called the Phone Fast Day that you should try on a Sunday very soon. Choose one day where you will not touch your phone for the first 3 hours after waking up. Put it in a drawer or a closet where you cannot see it or hear it at all during that time. Use those 3 hours to eat breakfast slowly, go for a walk, read a book, or talk to a real human face. Notice how strange and uncomfortable you feel at first without the little screen in your hand. Then notice how your thoughts become clearer and your mood becomes lighter as the hours pass by. At the end of the 3 hours, ask yourself what you actually missed from your phone during that time. You will be shocked to realize that the answer is almost always nothing important at all. The final step is to create phone-free zones in your home where the device is simply not allowed to enter. Make your dinner table a phone-free zone so you can actually taste your food and talk to your family. Make your bedroom a phone-free zone so your sleep and your love life can both improve dramatically. Make your bathroom a phone-free zone because scrolling while sitting on the toilet is stealing your peace in secret. These zones train your brain that there are places where the phone has no power over you at all. Over time, you will feel calmer just by entering these sacred spaces in your own home. Your phone is a useful tool, but it is also a thief of peace when left unchecked and unmanaged. Take back your home, take back your time, and take back the peace that was always yours to keep. Chapter 12. The one question that ends overthinking. Overthinking is a disease that affects millions of smart people who cannot turn off their brains. You lie in bed at night replaying conversations, imagining disasters, and planning for every possible outcome. Your mind spins like a wheel that cannot stop, even when you are exhausted and desperate for rest. You have tried to stop overthinking by telling yourself to just relax 1,000 times before. But telling a racing mind to relax is like telling a hurricane to stop blowing in the sky. This chapter will give you one simple question that cuts through all the noise in 10 seconds. This question works because it forces your brain to shift from fear mode to action mode instantly. You will finally have a tool that ends overthinking before it can steal another minute of your peace. The magic question is this: what is the one tiny action I can take right now to move forward? Notice that the question does not ask you to solve the whole problem at once. It does not ask you to figure out every possible outcome or make a perfect plan today. It only asks for one tiny action, something so small that it feels almost silly to call it an action. That tiny action could be sending one email, making one phone call, or writing 3 sentences on paper. It could be taking a 5-minute walk, drinking a glass of water, or breathing 10 slow breaths in a row. The size of the action does not matter, only that you take it instead of sitting in your spinning mind. Once you take the tiny action, your brain realizes that the problem is not as huge as it seemed before. And the overthinking stops because action and overthinking cannot live in the same brain at the same time. Let us see how this question works in real-life situations that cause most people to overthink endlessly. You are worried about a difficult conversation you need to have with your boss next week. Your mind plays 100 different versions of how the conversation might go wrong for you. Ask yourself the magic question, and the answer might be to write down 3 bullet points of what you want to say. That tiny action takes 2 minutes, but it moves you from fear to preparation in a very real way. You are worried about a health symptom, and you cannot stop Googling scary diseases late at night. Ask the magic question, and the tiny action is to schedule a doctor's appointment right now, not to Google anymore. The appointment might be weeks away, but the action kills the overthinking because you did something about it today. The magic question works because it breaks the trap of perfectionism that hides inside most overthinking. Perfectionism whispers that you should not act until you are completely sure of the perfect outcome, but waiting for perfect certainty is a prison that keeps you stuck in your head forever and ever. The magic question frees you from perfectionism by asking for one tiny, imperfect action right now. That action might be wrong, messy, or incomplete, but that is perfectly fine for today's purpose. You can always take another tiny action tomorrow to fix or adjust what you did today. This is how every great building was built, one imperfect brick at a time over many days. Stop trying to build the whole building in your head before you lay the first brick on the ground. Here is a practice to train your brain to use the magic question automatically without thinking about it. Set a timer on your phone for 3 random times each day, like morning, noon, and evening. When the timer goes off, stop whatever you are doing and check in with your current thoughts. If you notice that you are overthinking something, write down the magic question on a piece of paper. Then write down one tiny action that answers the question for that specific situation in the moment. Take that tiny action immediately, even if it feels silly or too small to matter very much. Over time, your brain will learn to ask the question on its own without needing any timer at all. You will catch yourself starting to overthink and then automatically shift to tiny action mode instead. This is how you rewire a brain that has spent years practicing the bad habit of overthinking everything. The most beautiful thing about the magic question is that it works for big problems and small ones too. Overthinking what to eat for dinner. The tiny action is to open the fridge and look inside right now. Overthinking whether to change your career. The tiny action is to update your resume for 15 minutes today. Overthinking a fight with your friend. The tiny action is to send a simple text that says, "I miss you," without any explanation. Each tiny action builds momentum, and momentum is the enemy of overthinking in every situation. Soon you will not need the question anymore because action will have become your new habit instead of thinking. But keep the question in your back pocket for the hard days when your mind wants to spin again. You now hold the key that unlocks the cage of overthinking forever, so go use it today. Chapter 13. Building a life that feels light, not heavy. Look around at the people you know, and notice how many of them walk through life carrying heavy loads. They carry old grudges, unspoken resentments, and worries about things that never even happen at all. They carry clutter in their homes, debt in their bank accounts, and tasks on endless to-do lists every day. No wonder they feel tired, angry, and secretly jealous of people who seem lighter and happier. But here is the secret that heavy people never figure out on their own. The weight is not being put on them by the world or by other people around them. They are choosing to carry most of that weight by themselves without even realizing it. This chapter will show you how to drop the heavy and build a life that feels light instead. The first weight to drop is the grudge bag, which is one of the heaviest loads any human can carry. A grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die from it slowly. You are hurt, but the person who hurt you is probably not thinking about you at all today. They are living their life while you are carrying them around in your mind like a heavy backpack. Forgiving someone does not mean what they did was okay or that you need to trust them again. Forgiveness simply means you are done carrying the weight of what they did to you back then. You set the bag down and walk away, leaving them to carry their own actions from now on. Try forgiving one person this week and notice how much lighter your body feels the next morning. The second weight to drop is the clutter that fills your home, your car, and your workspace every single day. Every object you own but never use is a tiny weight that your brain has to manage constantly. You have to clean it, move it, store it, and feel guilty about not using it at all. This clutter steals your peace in small ways that add up to a heavy load over time. Spend 15 minutes each day for 1 week getting rid of things you have not used in a year. Donate them, throw them away, or give them to a friend who will actually use them for real. Notice how each item you remove makes your space feel lighter and calmer than before. A light space creates a light mind, and a light mind creates a light life that feels good to live. The third weight to drop is the calendar full of obligations that you said yes to for the wrong reasons. You said yes because you felt guilty, because you wanted approval, or because you were afraid to say no. Now your calendar looks like a prison schedule with no empty spaces for rest or joy at all. Each obligation is a tiny weight that drains your energy even before you arrive at the event itself. Go through next week's calendar and cross off everything that does not light you up inside. Leave the crossed-off items empty, and do not fill them with new things to do instead. Sit in that empty space and feel the lightness of having nothing to do for a few hours. This empty space is not wasted time. It is the room where your best self finally gets to breathe. Here is a creative exercise called the lightness list that will change how you plan your entire life. Take a fresh piece of paper and draw a line down the middle from top to bottom. On the left side, write heavy things and list everything that drains your energy every single week. On the right side, write light things and list everything that fills your energy back up again. Be honest, even if the heavy things include people you love or jobs you need to pay your bills. Then look at the list and ask yourself which heavy things you can remove or reduce right now. Maybe you cannot quit your job, but you can reduce the hours you spend on it each week. Maybe you cannot leave your family, but you can reduce the time you spend with the heaviest members. Small reductions in heavy things create huge increases in lightness over time. The final secret to a light life is learning to travel through life with open hands instead of closed fists. A closed fist holds onto everything tightly and cannot receive anything new that comes along. An open hand can let go of what is heavy and receive what is light and joyful instead. Practice walking around with your hands open and relaxed for one full day this week. Notice how your whole body relaxes when your hands are not clenched into tight fists of control. You cannot control most things anyway, so stop pretending that your tight grip is keeping you safe. Open your hands, open your heart, and let life flow through you instead of getting stuck inside. This is the lightest way to live, and it is available to you starting right now today. Drop the heavy, choose the light, and feel the peace that has been waiting for you all along. Chapter 14. The Unexpected People Who Will Help You Win. Most people look for help from the obvious sources like rich friends, powerful bosses, or famous mentors. They go to networking events, send LinkedIn messages, and try to sit next to important people at dinners. But the people who can truly help you win are usually hiding in plain sight all around you. They are the quiet neighbor, the odd coworker, the old friend you have not called in years. They do not look powerful, they do not have fancy titles, and they never ask for anything in return. This chapter will teach you how to spot these unexpected allies and build real connections with them. You will learn why the people who seem unimportant are often the keys to your biggest breakthroughs, and you will start seeing your world with new eyes that notice treasure hidden in plain sight. The first unexpected helper is the person who does a boring job that everyone else ignores completely. The security guard, the cleaning person, the receptionist, or the delivery driver you see every single day. These people see everything that happens in a building because nobody pays attention to them at all. They know who is kind, who is cruel, and who is about to be fired before anyone else finds out. If you treat them with genuine respect, they will warn you about dangers and tell you about opportunities first. A simple good morning and remembering their name can make you their favorite person in the whole building. One day, that boring job person might be the only one who can save you from a huge mistake. Never underestimate the power of a person whom everyone else has decided is not important at all. The second unexpected helper is the person who disagrees with you politely and respectfully all the time. Most people surround themselves with yes-sayers who agree with everything they say and do. But yes-sayers never help you grow because they never show you your blind spots or mistakes. The person who disagrees with you is polishing you like a diamond being rubbed by a rough stone. They are annoying, but they are also saving you from embarrassing errors you cannot see yourself. Thank them for their disagreement, listen to their reasons, and consider that they might be seeing something you missed. This person is not your enemy. They are your free consultant who works for the price of being heard. Keep them close, because the world is full of people who will smile and watch you fail quietly. The third unexpected helper is the person who has already failed at the exact thing you are trying to do now. They tried and crashed, lost money, or got rejected, and they are still standing today. Their failure is a map that shows you where the hidden rocks and cliffs are on your journey. Most people avoid failure people because they seem like bad luck or bad energy to be around. But smart people seek out failure people and ask them one simple question very politely. That question is, if you could do it again, what would you do differently next time? Their answer might save you years of pain and thousands of dollars in mistakes you would have made. Pay them for their time, buy them coffee, and listen with your full attention to everything they say. Their failure is your treasure map if you are humble enough to ask for directions. Here is a challenge to find your unexpected helpers starting tomorrow morning when you wake up. Make a list of 5 people in your life who do not fit the usual picture of a powerful helper. Include the quiet person, the disagreeable person, the failure person, and 2 others you have ignored. Reach out to each of them this week with a simple, honest message that shows you see them. Say something like, "I realize I have not appreciated you enough, and I would love to hear your thoughts on something." Do not ask for a favor, just ask for their opinion, their story, or their advice on a small problem. Most of them will be shocked that someone finally noticed them after all of this time being invisible. That shock will open their heart to you, and their heart will open doors you did not even know existed. The final secret about unexpected helpers is that helping them will help you even more than you expect. When you lift up a person that everyone else ignores, you become a hero in their story forever. They will talk about you to everyone they know, and their loyalty to you will never fade away. Years later, when you have forgotten that you were kind to them, they will remember and repay you. This is how real power works, not through taking, but through giving to those who have nothing to give back today. The unexpected path to power is paved with small kindnesses shown to forgotten people every single day. Start walking that path today, and watch how the universe sends unexpected helpers to your door when you need them most. You are not looking for powerful people. You are becoming the kind of person that powerful people want to help. Chapter 15. Your first day of real peace. You have reached the final chapter of this book, and now it is time to take real action today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more ready or less busy with life. Today is the only day that exists, and today is the day your real peace begins at last. This chapter will give you a step-by-step plan for your first 24 hours of peace. You do not need to change everything at once or become a completely different person overnight. You only need to follow these simple steps and notice how different you feel by bedtime tonight. Each step takes less than 10 minutes, but together they will shift your entire state of being. Your first day of real peace is waiting for you, so let us walk through it together right now. Step 1 happens the moment you wake up, before you touch your phone or even open your eyes fully. Keep your eyes closed and take 3 slow, deep breaths while saying your power word from Chapter 4. Feel your body still lying in bed, notice that you are safe, and that nothing is attacking you right now. Then open your eyes and say out loud, "Today, I choose peace over perfection and calm over chaos." This takes 30 seconds, but it sets the tone for every minute that follows throughout your entire day. Without this step, your brain will default to old stress patterns that steal your peace before breakfast. With this step, you are the captain of your ship, not a passenger on a stormy sea. Do not skip this step. It is the most important 30 seconds of your entire day. Step 2 is your 5-minute secret routine from Chapter 4. Done immediately after you get out of bed. Do the heavy body drop, the 3-breath reset, the gratitude scan, the future me visualization, and the power word choice. If you only have time for 2 minutes, do the 3-breath reset and the gratitude scan as your minimum. But try to give yourself the full 5 minutes because this is your peace medicine for the whole day ahead. After the routine, drink a full glass of water and look at yourself in the mirror for 10 seconds. Smile at yourself, even if it feels fake at first, because smiling tricks your brain into feeling happier. You have now completed the most powerful morning routine that takes less time than scrolling on your phone. Your first hour of peace is already off to a perfect start before most people have even opened their eyes. Step 3 is to review your calendar for today and remove at least one thing that feels heavy to you. Look at each appointment, task, or obligation and ask yourself if it truly needs to happen today. If the answer is no, cancel it, reschedule it, or simply decide not to do it at all. If the answer is yes, ask yourself if you can do less of it or do it in a lighter way. Maybe you can take a shorter route, leave early, or ask someone to help you finish faster. Every heavy thing you remove creates more space for peace to enter your daily experience. This is not laziness. This is the strategic removal of weight from your overloaded schedule. A light calendar is a peaceful calendar, and a peaceful calendar is the home where your best self lives. Step 4 is to practice saying no at least once today using the scripts from Chapter 5 in this book. Someone will ask you for something today, even if it is a small request like a favor or your opinion. When they ask, pause for 3 seconds before answering and feel if your body wants to say yes or no. If your body feels tight or tired at the thought of saying yes, then the answer is actually a clear no. Use one of the scripts like "Thank you for asking, but that will not work for me today." Notice how the world does not end, how the person does not hate you, and how you feel proud of yourself. This one no is a brick in the wall that protects your peace from people who would steal it. Each no you speak makes the next no easier, until saying no becomes as natural as breathing clean air. Step 5 happens at the end of your day, right before you close your eyes to sleep tonight. Take out a small notebook or a piece of paper and write down 3 wins from your first day of peace. Win 1 could be that you did your morning routine without skipping any part of it at all. Win 2 could be that you said no to something and survived without any guilt or fear. Win 3 could be that you noticed yourself starting to overthink and you stopped it with the magic question. Then write down 1 thing you will do better tomorrow, but keep it kind and gentle toward yourself. Read your 3 wins out loud and smile at how far you came in just 1 single day. You are no longer the person who started this book. You are someone who chose peace and found it. Tomorrow you will do it again, and the day after until peace becomes your normal way of living. Conclusion. You have traveled the unexpected path from the first page to this final moment of the book. You have learned that power does not yell, that losing small can win everything, and that peace comes from doing less, not more. You have discovered the magic question that ends overthinking and the 5-minute secret to calm power every morning. But reading this book was only the map, not the journey itself, and now the real adventure begins for you. The unexpected path is not a one-time event. It is a daily choice that you must make over and over again. Some days you will forget. Some days you will fall back into old habits of stress and fighting. That is not failure. That is just being human, and you can always choose again the very next moment. The path is waiting for you every single morning when you open your eyes to a brand new day. The world will try to pull you back into the loud, busy, angry way of living that most people accept as normal. Your phone will buzz, your coworkers will complain, and your own old thoughts will whisper that peace is for weak people. But now you know the secret that most people will never understand in their entire lives. Real power and real peace live in the same house, and the door to that house is always open. You hold the key in your hand right now, and the key is simply choosing a different way moment by moment. So go live your unexpected path, not perfectly, but bravely, one small step at a time. The world needs more calm, powerful, peaceful people who refuse to fight the wrong battles. Be one of those people, starting right now, and watch how your life transforms in ways you cannot yet imagine.